Right.
Hello.
Hi. So, Paranormal Pixies. Blade here.
Rhonda here.
Bone Daddy back there. And, of course, we have Muffin Coco. The monkey. So, who's very happy.
Yeah.
As usual. So, we said that we were going to talk about Harry Potter today.
Yes.
So, I did some research on the myths and legends, like the basilisk and the hippogriff and the phoenix, as well as the sorcerer's stone.
Okay.
So I pretty much was going to let you talk about everything else.
Okay, well, that's cool, because, I only had time to really, rewatch the first movie, because it had been quite a while since I watched it. But the first thing that you see is an owl. And owls are considered messengers.
Right.
And, they deliver the mail in that. So, yeah, she used that as the messenger, as the owl. So that was cool. Mm-hmm. And, what was it? Professor McGonagall turning into she's the cat?
Yes.
Yeah. So that was another thing. The cat being the witch's familiar. Right. So, yeah, you got that. God, there was so much. I had it all written down, and I forgot my notes, of course.
Of course. Well... So, anyway, we're sliding again?
No, it's just, you can't really see much of us.
Oh.
We're like talking...
Heads,
yeah.
Not the band.
Like this.
Not the band. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, and I am wearing my Harry Potter shirt that I picked up from Target.
There you go.
They have such cool stuff. It was $12. Can't beat it.
But, well, okay, yes, owls are messengers, but in a lot of cultures, did you know that the owl is the messenger of death?
Yeah.
Yes. So, unfortunately, like in the Middle East, they kill those little desert owls.
Oh.
Because they're harbingers of death.
Oh, jeez.
And so they look at them as bad luck.
That's horrible.
And I was like very upset when I heard about that because they are so freaking cute. They're like this big. They're like this big.
Well, hopefully they're able to get away from them.
Yeah. But in Greek mythology, owls were part of Athena's entourage symbolism.
Right.
And they were considered. This is where we get the wise old owl.
Yeah. Is
pretty much because she's the goddess of wisdom. So they looked at owls as messengers, but also bringers of wisdom. Yeah. So that's where we get the, Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. You know.
That's how old we are.
I know. They are messengers, and unfortunately, in some cultures, they are considered bad omens.
Yeah.
But mostly in the European, because of the Greek classical influence, you get them as the messenger. Right. So they're not as, poorly looked upon. What was else you were? The cat.
Being considered
a familiar.
Which is familiar.
Which is familiar. Which that's, especially the black cat has been. But again, in Europe, we have had where they were very poorly looked upon. Yeah. As being familiars. People looked at them as being evil. Yeah. And cats were killed at a constant level. And so when at least at the 1400s, when the ships with the Asian rats decided to make port, because they got a lot more trade with the Far East, and rats got on board with the fleas. There were no cats to kill the rats, so the population went nuts as well as the fleas. We get the Black Plague. Yep. So
I was gonna say, guess what happened?
Yes.
The Black Death.
Yes. Yeah. We got the Black Plague going on because we didn't have enough cats to kill the rats and the fleas. So yep. But there is that. Now, what was the other thing you said? Was the wands. Yeah, those are because those were essentially used as a focal point for the magic. Yeah. As well as the conical hats. Yes. Because it pulled the power down. It focused it into the head. Yeah. So
and wands are used to direct energy.
Right. A focal. That's the focusing the energy on stuff. So those are real.
And the brooms.
Yes.
Although I would love to be able to fly on a broom.
Not me. I would think that would be uncomfortable.
I would never be home. I would always be out doing something.
Just,
Can you imagine though? That would be like so convenient.
I'd have a Pegasus.
Yeah, well, there was Pegasus in there. Yeah.
Well, the horses in the carriage for the one, but there was a hippogriff.
Yeah. That's true.
The one that they I can't remember what his name is. The one that was threatened to be executed because of Malfoy or something that he bit me.
Oh, Hagrid?
Yeah, Hagrid's hippogriff.
Oh, okay. I can't remember his name.
Right. Hippogriffs are an actual legendary creature. Mm-hmm. They were in the same venue as griffins.
Yeah.
And those pretty much are they're not necessarily Greek mythology, but they're related to the Greek mythology.
Right. They're
more of a British. So like when the Romans and stuff came in, these mythological creatures kind of developed.
Yeah.
So that is one of them. So we have the hippogriff, but we also have like the mer people, and we also had the horses that swam.
Yeah.
Because the Russians pulled that chariot through there, and actually they used the same animal in the Percy Jackson series.
Yeah.
The hippocampus.
Mm-hmm.
And hippocampus originally, now I think they had a different one. But the hippocampus is the horse.
Yeah.
And the mermaid with the mermaid tail.
Right.
Which is, again, that's from Greek mythology.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been influenced in there because a lot of these mythical animals started showing up in heraldry.
Yeah.
And so that's why they were prevalent in Europe, is because they were used in coats of arms.
Yeah.
People took them as like, if we have this mythical animal in our family coat of arms, this makes us special. Okay, so, they started incorporating those because it was power, it was, uniqueness.
Yeah.
So that's why they started doing that. Mm-hmm. The basilisk in the Chamber of Secrets the basilisk was known as the King of Snakes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really interesting legend behind how the basilisk came around. There's another name for it called the cockatrice.
Yeah.
And usually it is got the rooster body, but then it's past the feet, it has a snake body. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this was considered a basilisk. And like the Medusa, its gaze could turn anything to stone. Mm-hmm. But also it could spit venom, and actually it could be killed with its own venom. I always liked how a basilisk was created. And what it is a rooster lays a black egg in a dung heap.
Okay.
So, and that's where, because you know how many roosters are out there laying eggs.
Yeah.
It's ungodly how many there are floating around.
Oh, yeah.
Every day a rooster lays an egg. Not. So,
yeah,
but
how does that work?
But they believed that that's how the basilisk was born. Mm-hmm. But the basilisk is also from Greek mythology. Mm-hmm. It starts in the Greek legends. And that's where we get the King of Snakes, because that's literally what basilisk means, is King of Snakes. So, we have that. Now, the fact they used a serpent and everything, I have no issue with that. It is a story.
Yeah.
Because I did grow up with the rooster snake combo, which is, you can get down at, Hardee's apparently, the rooster snake out in the West. No, I'm joking. Sorry, Hardee's.
Well, then there's also Fluffy, the three-headed dog.
Right, which is Cerberus, which was the guard that guarded the gates of Tartarus. Mm-hmm. Hades' dog.
Yep.
So there is that.
Yep, and all the dragons.
Oh, of course, dragons. Yep. Believe them all. And there are different types of dragons.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's hundreds of categories of dragons above and beyond what people have made up in this last, 100 years with all the books and games and Dragantopia and all the other stuff.
Right.
Not saying they didn't do some research, some.
Yeah.
But I mean, even before that, there were all sorts of categories of dragons. Oh, yeah. So that's not out of the question. The Sorcerer's Stone is definitely, because I think they actually mention, and what I've read, and you might be able to verify this, was Nicholas Flamel actually mentioned in the book? You said you read the first one as working with Albus Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, Dumbledore.
I believe so. It's been a long time. So.
Okay, so Nicholas Flamel was an actual person from the 1500s,
right?
And it's really interesting to me, and I need to look that up. Where did I put my phone? Because I keep forgetting the other guy's name. Because it kind of, when I was looking through the legend, there was something that kind of connected for me.
Yeah.
Let's see. I need to. But what it was is, okay, so he was just your average guy.
Right.
He really didn't. I think he was a printer. He did printing. And repairing books and stuff like that. Hold on. Let me see. John D. Look that up. I want to find his partner. Anyway. But anyway. Who was his partner? Because the guy was a shyster.
Well, even like the
Edward Kelly, that's it. I found it. Anyway, he had a dream that an angel came to him in this dream and showed him this book that had a copper cover, and the pages were this very unique, sort of almost made out of bark, and there was a strange writing on it. So, close to John Kelly and whatever his name is, Kelly, and Dee, who Dee had a dream an angel came to him, and that's how Enochian magic was created.
Okay.
He was Dee was an advisor for Queen Elizabeth.
Okay.
And that's where we get the Enochian writing.
Okay.
An angel came to him, so it kind of reminded me of that. But anyway, so the angel told Flamel, pay attention, don't forget this book. So a couple of years later, this guy comes in with a book that he wants to sell.
Yeah.
And it's a copper-covered book with bark pages. And so Flamel bought it, but he had a really hard... It almost took him 21 years to translate this book.
Wow.
And he was into alchemy. Because of this book, he got into alchemy. And he found somebody in Spain to help him because where he was living, I believe it was France. Was it France? Anyway, where he was, it was France.
Yeah.
All the Jewish people had been banished because in those days they thought that the Jewish people were, in league with the devil. So he finally found somebody in Spain who would trust him as a Christian to help him start to translate this book. And the guy only translated like the first 5 pages for him.
Jeez.
But through those translations, Flamel was able to continue translating the book. And one of the big things that alchemists were really into, do you know what it is?
Probably.
It's the transmutation of lead to gold.
Yeah.
So he figured out a way to make mercury into silver and silver into gold. Okay? And they believe he found, through this book, the directions to making the Philosopher's Stone, which helps in transmutation.
Interesting.
And also, you can use it to create, you can lengthen your life with it.
Yeah.
It is funny in the readings, they're like, is he even dead? Because there's no grave.
Yeah.
Him and his wife just disappeared.
And
actually, a descendant of his was able to transmute. He had a little bit of the stone.
Yeah.
And Louis, the sun god, or the sun king, sun king, actually demanded a performance of this. So the guy used it to transmute something into gold. And he wanted to know where the stone was. And the guy's like, this is all I had of the powder that they used. I don't know where the rest of it is, and I can't read the book. And nobody could. But there's still this thought that Nicholas Flamel is floating around out there, with his Philosopher's Stone.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I always thought that was kind of cool.
You never know.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and also, if you look at the wording of their spells, those are all Latin words.
Yeah.
So, she did a really good job of researching.
Yeah, she really did.
And figuring out what was what and what myths and legends to pull from. So, thumbs up to, JK.
Yep. Shout out to J.K. Rowling.
Yep.
Good job, lady.
She did. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean,
well, I was saying, like, the, even, like, the Remember All, kind of, I would kind of equate that to a witch's ball. I'm trying to think of all the little things they had in there. Even, like, Quidditch, like the Golden Snitch. What would you equate that with?
What? The Golden Snitch? Yeah. I mean, to me, it's pretty much...
apparently you need a bath.
Apparently I do. I've had a rough day today, haven't I, monkey?
He probably knows.
Yeah, she's such a baby. But, yeah, I mean, Quidditch, to me, the game itself was like a combination of games. I mean, honestly... It's kind of like polo with the riding and going around. But also, to me, you have to get it through a hoop.
Right.
And that reminds me of the ball games in Mesoamerica.
Yeah, the Aztec.
Right, the Aztec and Mayan ball games.
Yep.
Yes.
Where if you lost, you died.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That make you play hard to win there. Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's pretty much as far as... And I mean... She did it in a way that they could use their brooms, and have that in there. I like looking at the ceiling. Thank you, Coco.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And like the Dark Forest.
Right.
That's another thing.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
All the creatures that were in there, like unicorns and, centaurs and everything else.
Well, yeah. Well, centaurs are, of course, from Greek mythology. So she tended to use a lot of Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of these creatures come from that. And the dark forest itself, I mean, you look at any fairy tales and you always have a dark forest.
Oh, yeah.
With creatures in it. Especially like the spiders.
Yeah.
And the bigger the better, of course. You can't get away with that. Rodents of unusual size.
Yeah. R-O-U-S-E.
R-U-S-E, that's right.
Yep.
And
like the cloak of invisibility.
Yes, there's a cloak of invisibility in there, and
that would be so much fun.
I mean, look, we just talked about a cloak of invisibility with Hades. Yeah. He has one, so but that was a normal thing. That again, when you look at any kind of games or stuff like that, or myths, somewhere in there, a hero will always get some special equipment, like Perseus.
Yeah.
He had the helm of invisibility, or he had the shoes, and he had a shield, So, I mean, they gain something from somebody that helps them out. I mean, the archetypes alone within the story are, you know, the wounded hero.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have Harry, who has been wounded.
Yeah.
He has lost his family.
Yeah.
You know, and he's living in this horrid situation.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's pulled out of it,
mm-hmm.
you know, to become this special person, this
mm-hmm.
special hero. So you have the wounded hero.
Yeah.
Even his companions, you know, are a type of archetypal character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Voldemort, I mean, good Lord, the
Yeah.
evil guy, come on.
Yep.
Who never goes away.
Yep.
By the way, I mean, you can't, you know, arch nemesis never really goes away.
Right.
So he's in a constant state of being there in some form,
mm-hmm.
you know. It just, yeah, I mean, like I said, again, she did a really good job of pulling all that mythology and the archetypes together,
mm-hmm.
The situations, the stories. Yes. You know, Coco appreciates it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you, Punky? Yes, you do. But you can tell my dog loves me.
He loves everybody. He's like my cat.
But you know, what else? What else would you like to talk about?
I'm trying to think what else is in there.
Oh, there's all sorts of stuff.
Oh, I know. The what did they call those? Like the cup that they went after that would transport you to a different area.
Oh, the
port something.
Port keys.
Port keys. That was it. Yeah, those. Yeah.
Those are good. Yep.
Mm-hmm. What else? Oh, God, I can't believe I forgot my notes. Ugh. So we'll probably cut this into 2 weeks because there's so much. It's ridiculous. And you said like the mermaids and
right.
And that.
And they did a good job because.
Oh yeah.
Most mer people were not friendly to humans.
Right.
Because they looked at humans as being destructive to their environment.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And the whole thing with the golden egg that he had to open under the water. That makes total sense. Because why would they be able to speak above water?
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even like in the movie Splash, remember when he asked her what her name was?
And she had to go underwater?
She did that like squealing thing.
Right.
That, like busted the screens out of all the TVs and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I was thinking of, I saw when I was doing some research, the thing that some scientists were talking about, the thing with the gillyweed.
Yeah.
And breathing underwater. They do actually have a substance that you can breathe in and it'll help you breathe underwater.
Interesting.
They've done it with rats.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I'd be brave enough
kind of
to
this
try that.
Weird pinkish, thick, globby fluid.
Oh, like from the abyss.
Yes. But there is actually that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you're basically breathing in liquid to,
help you breathe underwater. Because what it does is you actually, this liquid like enhances the oxygen within the water and pulls it into your lungs.
Yeah.
So.
Freaky.
You're just being the center of the attention there, aren't you? You're like, I don't care, Mom. So anyway, we'll probably continue this. We are already at 23 minutes.
Yeah. And if we go over like 32 or something, it like cuts it into 2 parts.
Right. So we have to watch our time.
Yeah.
So anyway, again, you know, she did a good job. There are many creatures within there that are from different mythologies that are in the sort of European legends.
Yeah. He's just determined to.
I know. He knows I've had a rough day today.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah.
I was ready to beat my head against the wall with several of my little campers. God bless their little hearts. Love you dearly.
I like the new hair color.
Oh, thank you.
You can tell I still haven't gotten around to dyeing mine blue.
Oh.
I started selling Avon again, and I have been so busy with that my hair is green, and I'm over it. So hopefully, this weekend, this is only Tuesday. Maybe tomorrow it'll get dyed blue again. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but anyway, so like I said, a lot of the stuff that was in there, the different spells, definitely the Latin words that are used. I mean, they're, how can I put it? I don't want to say organizations, but they're like
different versions. Just,
they're not like true Latin,
right?
But they're Latinized,
Latin-ish.
Yeah, they're Latin-ish. So their base word is actually a Latin word that means what they're saying.
Right.
So
like when she fixes his glasses and she says "Oculus reparum."
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's usually how it's pronounced because usually the verb comes after the object.
Mm-hmm.
So, or the subject. So, it just, the research was well done. And even, I'm going to pull in the one we just had released. What was it? The Creatures...
Oh, the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them?
Yeah.
That was good.
It really was. It was good. And I admire her writing style, and I admire her research that she does into these stories because it's so apparent that this was thoroughly researched. It's not a hack job.
Right. She didn't just sit down and write it. She knew what she was writing.
I've seen too many people who just don't do enough research.
Yeah.
And
why are you licking me?
Because he can. But they just don't do enough research, and it's apparent really that she did. Yeah. She really did a good job. Mm-hmm. So we will continue this
next week.
Next week.
Yep. And
you will bring your notes.
Yes, I will bring my notes. Yeah, it's been kind of a crazy day, and so I left quickly to get here, and
I needed her to.
Yeah.
I have a lot to do.
I was getting ready to come over, and I had my peach tea, and I accidentally poured Hawaiian punch in it and had to dump that out and do it again, and it's been one of those days.
I know.
Yep.
I know. Poor little things. Look at you, scratchy.
Well, I was getting him right here.
Oh, yeah. It's a bug bite or something. So we will talk further on Harry Potter.
Yep.
And she'll have her notes.
Yep.
And I will let you do the talking then.
Okay.
Okay?
Alrighty.
So, and I'll just, if you need me, I'll do some little side notes.
Okay. And if you guys have any suggestions of what you want us to talk about within the whole Harry Potter world, leave us a comment.
Yes.
We can throw it in there.
Yep. So, we will see you later.
Yep.
And you all have a good week. And this is Blade out.
Rhonda.
And Coco.
Yep. The licky dog.
Yes. Mr. Kissy.
Yep.
All right. Have a good one.
See you in the next one.